Hello. I would like to say hello. Hello. I would like to say hello. Hello spells hello to you and you and you and you. Hey, it's Miss Nadia from the Carlinville Public Library, and I have another story time for you guys today. Today will be about visiting grandparents. And this book is called How to Babysit a Grandpa. And it's written by Reagan, illustrated by Lee Wildish, and it's published by Alfred A. Knopfler, New York. So let's see. How to babysit a grandpa. Have you ever babysat your grandpa? Maybe you did and you didn't know it. Here's Grandpa. He's coming to visit. You see him? Babysitting a grandpa is fun if you know how. When your grandpa rings the doorbell, what should you do? Hide. You see in the window real quick. I wonder whose backside that is. You might wiggle and want to giggle, but don't yell. Grandpa, not yet. Shh. How to stay quiet? Well, first, you could pretend you're a shark waiting for lunch. Act like a pirate spy. Be still as a lion statue. As soon as your grandpa says, "I give up," pop out and say, "Here I am." When your mom and dad leave, pat your grandpa's hand and say, "Don't worry, they always come back." Then right away ask him if he's hungry. Snacks for Grandpa. Ice cream topped with cookies. Olives served on fingertips. Anything dipped in ketchup. Cookies topped with ice cream. Let's see. Olives on fingertips. After snacks, it's time to take your grandpa for a walk. When it's cold, bundle up. Do you bundle up like that? When it's sunny, sunscreen up, especially the top of his head. He doesn't have a lot of hair there. You need to put plenty of sunscreen there. Remember to grab his hand when you cross the street and remind him to look both ways. What to do on a walk. Step over sidewalk cracks. Look for lizards, cool rocks, and dandelion puffs. If there's a puddle or a sprinkler, show him what to do. What do you do? Uh-oh. When you're back at home, have him shut his eyes while you get ready, and then these are some tips on how to entertain a grandpa. Somersault across the room, put on a scary play like this one, or show off your muscles. You may want to have some extra tricks. Grandpas always clap for more. Pretty soon he'll want to join the fun, so play with your grandpa too. And these are some tips how to play with a grandpa. Well, you could march with your drum and you can give him a kazoo. Build a pirate cave and make sure you both can fit. Look at this pirate cave underneath the table. Watch out for sharks in the water. Don't let your feet touch the floor. Oh no. Look at, he's got his toy. That looks like fun. When your grandpa says, nap time, it's time for his nap. The best way to put him to sleep is to have him read a long book over and over and over and sleeping. Even if you're sleepy too, babysitters have to stay awake while he naps. Draw a picture for his fridge. Here are some ideas what to draw for a grandpa. It says a pirate shark battle. Oh, that's what's over here. Look at the pirate and the sharks. Your favorite dinosaur. Looks like you did that. You and your grandpa splashing in a puddle. Right there. Then wake up your grandpa. You might want to try lifting him with your muscles. Okay. Tickling his nose with his toes. Oh, you know what? I misread that. This is tickling his nose and his toes. I thought, wow, he's flexible. Singing on top of Old Smoky softly, then louder and louder. Now ask, will Mom and Dad be home soon? Your grandpa will look at the clock and say, yikes, soon, very soon. Good babysitters can't leave messes, so turn on some bouncy music and get to work. Oh my goodness, look at all the puzzles and the blocks and some books. Uh-oh, there's ice cream on the floor. Oop, a cookie's on the floor. Uh-oh, Mom and Dad won't like that. Gotta get that all off the floor. When you hear your mom and dad grab your grandpa's hand and pull him behind the couch, show him how to be quiet. So check how to stay quiet. Double check that. And then whisper, see, Grandpa, they always come back. Now comes the hardest part, goodbye time. how to say goodbye to a grandpa. Surprise him with the picture. Give him a hug and a kiss. And a kiss and a hug and a hug and a kiss. And then ask, when can I babysit you again? That's the end. Aww. So we talked about how to babysit your grandpa and grandmas. But you know, there's a lot in illness out there called corona, or the COVID-19. So I encourage you to make sure you wear your mask over your nose and your mouth like this. And then go ahead and give a hug to your grandpa and grandma. And they'll need a big one, but make sure you have your mask on because they might get sick, or we don't want to accidentally give them any germs that might make them sick. Okay? I hope you guys can do that. So you could still give them some huggies and some snuggies, but maybe stop on the kisses because we really don't want them to get sick, and we want to be able to play with our grandmas and grandpas. So let's see. I've got another poem for you guys. You ready? Can you reach up? Pretend you're taking an apple. And it goes like this. Just out of reach, so high in the tree. Can you make a big tree with your arms? Is a juicy red apple waiting for me. Get on my toes. Can you get on your toes? And stretch up my hands. But I can't reach no matter how tall I stand. So I must jump as high as I can till I have that apple in my hand. I make it shine. Do you know how to make them shine? Sometimes people go, ha, ha. But don't do that if you're sharing. Go, ha, ha. And you shine it on your shirt. My job is complete. My juicy red apple is ready to eat. Can you do it again, Petty? Just out of reach, so high in the tree, is a juicy red apple waiting for me. Get on my toes and stretch out my hand, but I can't reach no matter how tall I stand. So I must jump as high as I can till I have that apple in my hand. I make it shine. My job is complete. My juicy red apple is ready to eat. Jump. Good job, guys. I hope you caught on to that one, but we'll try it again next week. This next book is called A Couple of Boys Have the Best Week Ever. It's about two boys. Here, on the back, there's kind of an introduction. There's a boy named Eamon. And, this is Eamon. This is James. He's got the curly hair. And then here's Bill. That's their grandpa. And then here is Pam. And they get to go stay with their grandparents for the week. And while they go stay with them, they're going to go to a nature camp. And this is how. And here's the cover. And it is written by Marla Frazee. And she also did the pictures. And then it's published by Harcourt Inc. So check out her. I'm sure she's online, and check out Harcourt because they've got other activities. And the same thing with our other book. Just search those authors, and sometimes they have some extra special things for you to do. So look at, there's pictures of what they did. Here, they got their sacks. All right. Oh my goodness. They look like they had so much fun. So, one hot summer day, James went on a long drive to Bill and Pam's house so he could go to a week of nature camp with his friend Eamon. Bill and Pam are Eamon's grandparents, and they live at the beach. But he's got a nature book. Or it's about the nature camp he's going to go to. Eamon was already there. And nature camp was Bill's idea. Bill loved nature, especially cold, wild, and remote places with hardly any people. So that's Bill. That was his idea that the kids would go. And he had been to many of these sorts of places before. But the place he most wanted to visit was Antarctica because of the penguins. And Pam said she preferred people over penguins. So Eamon thought this chat was fascinating, but he hoped James would arrive soon. Ding dong! And finally, James did. With a couple of his belongings. Does that look like a couple? No, that's a lot. So he had never been away from home for an entire week. So he was very sad when his mother drove away. But look does he look sad? He says bye and he's got a smile. I think the author is being silly. So the first thing Bill wanted to do before nature camp started was to take James and Eamon to the penguin exhibit at the National History Museum. Pam offered to pack a picnic of peanut butter and honey sandwiches. James and Eamon discussed their options. He says, "Do you want to go?" And he said, "No." They decided to stay home and enjoy Bill and Pam's company. It's like they ran off. So in the morning, Bill took the boys to nature camp. The road was long and curvy. James and Eamon learned a lot of new vocabulary words while Bill drove. Uh-oh, looks like it might not be a very nice word. On the way back that afternoon, James and Eamon described their first nature camp day to Bill. They said, "I thought you were supposed to walk on a hike." "Yeah, not stand and look at some flower for an hour." Does that sound like the best week ever? Let's find out what else happens. So, when they got home, Bill unrolled a large map of Antarctica. And on the living room floor, Pam gave James and Eamon coffee ice cream icebergs with hard chocolate sauce on top. Nature camp made the boys very hungry. And it made them look at everything more carefully. Wow, they're really looking carefully at that TV. Bill brought tide charts and a globe to the dinner table. Tide charts. That's like how deep the water gets on the beach, kind of. Pam served banana waffles with maple syrup. Look at, he says, "The food is way better here than my house." And he says, "Mine too." And at night, James and Eamon slept on a blow-up mattress with an automatic pump. That's so cool. Bill and Pam wondered if they would be lonely in the downstairs bedroom. But they weren't. Look at all their friends. That looks like fun. Sleeping on the floor on a mattress and then having all of your stuffed animals all around. Before they left for nature camp the next morning, Bill handed them each a pair of binoculars. Oh my goodness, those are so cool. And a list of birds to look for. And on the way home, the boys reported their findings. They said, his freckles are huge. Yeah, and his tongue is gross. As the nature camp week went by, James and Eamon practically became one person. They did everything together in exactly the same way. To save time, Bill began calling them Jamin, and he would say, hey, Jamin, think about whether or not you want to see that penguin exhibit. Yeah, they like running around and playing. They still haven't seen that exhibit. And Jamin would think about it. Then, in complete agreement, the campers would decide to practice quiet meditation downstairs. Does that look like meditation? No. And they'd eat more banana waffles. Oh my goodness. Grandma Pam is very generous. And enjoy the beach together. Want to go outside? Nope. Oh my goodness, look at that beach. That would be fun. Nature camp was just so great. And then on Friday afternoon, nature camp was over. James and Eamon recapped the week during the drive home. They said, I think it should be called sit-around camp. Yeah, or sweat-a-lot camp. And on their last night together, Bill, Pam, James, and Eamon had a popcorn party. James and Eamon soon discovered that a party with Bill and Pam could get pretty noisy. Can you see what might be noisy? Do you know what that means? That means they're snoring very loudly like this. Can you do that 3 times? Ready? So they wandered outside for some peace and quiet. Tomorrow they had to go home. They looked up at the sky and out at the ocean for the first time all week. They couldn't think of anything to do. The sun went down, the stars came out. Then at last, James and Eamon finally got real busy with something. Do you have any idea what they could be getting busy on? What they could be doing? I don't know. They kind of done everything this week. Let's look and see what happens. And it turned out to be the very best part of the best week ever. Do you see what they have? These are like oysters or mussels or clams. And some are rocks and large boulders and sticks. In the morning, James and Eamon couldn't wait to show Bill and Pam what they had made. They say it's Antarctica. Look it. The white rocks are icebergs, and the brown rocks are whales. And this big stick is a big stick. Oh, and that penguin there is Jamon. And he hopes he can be a nature camper again soon. Look at that. Isn't that neat? That looks like so much fun. So they took the mussels and they pried them open and they painted them and put a little white rock inside them. Is that not neat? That is such a great idea. Oh my goodness, Bill, that's his favorite thing, isn't it? So Bill gave the boys a big hug. He said this was how penguins huddle together to keep warm. Oh my gosh, that made them so happy. Pam said she preferred people hugs over penguin huddles. James and Eamon hugged Bill and Pam back. Sort of. Look at them, they're running around. They're silly boys. And when their moms finally arrived to take them home, James and Eamon gave each other the secret Jamon handshake. Look at, they kind of shake their hands around. Or maybe they're doing the little bop, bop, bop. I don't know. Do you have a secret handshake with your friend? You should make one up. It's kind of fun. And then they walked like a couple of penguins all the way out the front door. That's the end of the story. I just think it's so nice. They didn't seem like they really liked the nature camp, but I think they had a ton of fun together. Even though that wasn't the greatest thing to do, they did find some other things to entertain themselves and have fun. So you guys, sometimes it's hard to think of things that you can do with your grandma and grandpas, or if you're just bored. And I've got one cool idea for you guys. And it's something you could do with grandma or grandpa. You just take a piece of paper and you're going to just color a picture on it. Then you can cut it up. Don't get too crazy with the cutter. You want to make big pieces and you can make your own puzzle. In this one, I just went ahead and I found a clip art online and I printed it out, and then I can color this side or I can color this side. So what I did do, I colored the white side just so I didn't have the black lines, but I still have the black lines to follow when I cut. So now I haven't cut it all out because I wanted you guys to be able to see it. But where is that piece? I think I lost a piece already. Oh my goodness. All right, so there's this piece. And it goes right there. And then it finishes my picture. And you can do this with many different things. You could just do a magazine and do that. Where does this come from? Does it go like there? Oh, I think it goes like, no, it doesn't. Look at me. I don't even know how to do my own. There we go. I figured it out. And then I have one more piece. But there you go. That's a great idea on what you can do with your grandparents. Maybe they could make one or you could make one. And on this one, I used, you call it cardstock. So it's kind of heavier than flimsy paper. But you could still use just regular paper. Just use whatever you've got. So I want to share with you one more time. Ooh, my books are going to fall down. These are the information about the books I read today. They will be available in 5 days because they'll be quarantined so that there's no germs on it. But thank you for sharing story time with me again. And I will see you next week, okay? And come in and see me sometime. Make sure you've got your mask. And I'll have some crafts for you to take home, okay? All right. Thank you. I'll see you again next week.